All right, good morning, everybody. Today's Monday. It's about 6:20. I work 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, so Monday's my Sunday, we'll say, where I reset. And I get ready for the week, and I do my meal prep. So I'll take you through what my normal Monday looks like. It's, like I said, 6:20. I'm going to start my day off by doing some writing and editing on my computer. And then I have a couple clients I train at 8 a.m. Then I'll get a workout in, and we'll see where the day takes me after that. But I'll take you along, and hopefully you take something away from this video. So I want to talk about the difference between internal and external motivation. And for me, internal motivation is you performing the action because you love doing it, or because it aligns with your beliefs and identity. So an example for me is why I exercise. I'm a physical therapist, and I believe in the benefits of exercise. But I also love doing it. Like, I get enjoyment out of it, so it takes no discipline for me to do it. So that allows me to show up day by day and perform the actions required to stay healthy. Not everyone has the same beliefs or identity as I do, and they certainly don't enjoy exercising. So if they want to become someone who exercises, how do they do that if they don't enjoy it? Well, believe it or not, most people don't enjoy it initially. I say a lot of healthy habits have an acquired taste period. And that's that initial stage where you don't like it at first, but over time, if you do it consistently, you may start to enjoy it. And how do you get through that acquired taste period? Well, that's where external motivation comes in, or extrinsic motivation. And I define external motivation as reward. And it can be positive reinforcement, like the paycheck at the end of the week, food, a compliment, words of encouragement. Or it could be negative reinforcement, which would be pain relief or removal of a negative stimulus. It's removal of guilt or removal of shame. It's the desire to escape something negative in their life. And along the weight loss journey, there is some positive reinforcement as well, like compliments from strangers or friends, seeing the number on the scale, decrease, looking better in your clothes. But I do believe the removal of those negative feelings or pain is a more powerful motivator for people who are trying to lose weight. But early on, we'll say the first 8 to 12 weeks of any behavior change, you're going to need that external motivation to get you to show up and perform the actions required each and every day. But as you become consistent and as you start to become better at the habits that you're performing, the actions you're performing, internal motivation starts to grow. Just know that over time, this will become easier. Ready to go to the gym. Here's the outfit. Very stylish. Plan is go to the gym, get a lift in, go to a coffee shop after, do some editing and writing, and then go for a run. I may take you along for some of that, but I don't like bringing my camera out in public, so if I do, it'll be using my phone. All right, just got back to my apartment, so I went to the gym, went to Men's Warehouse, as you typically do on a Monday. But no, I have a wedding in the spring that I had to get fitted for a tux for. And then after, I went to a cafe to do some writing. And now it's the worst part of my day, is I have to do some cardio. So today I'm gonna run because it's 54 degrees and sunny outside in St. Louis. And even though I hate running, the weather is gonna make it less terrible. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back with you afterwards. All right, so I just finished my run, got back and showered, and then I put this meal in the air fryer and let it cook as I was cleaning up. What I got here is 2 servings of just bare boneless chicken nuggets, and then 2 servings of steak fries I got from Walmart. I'll put the macros on the screen for the meal. I'm currently trying to, I'll say, main gain. During the winter, I usually try to gain a few pounds of muscle. I don't want to add too much fat though, so I control my appetite by Well, currently I've been controlling it by fasting in the morning and skipping breakfast. So this is my first full meal after that banana bread I had at the cafe. First full meal at 3:13. But I'm gonna enjoy this and then I'll have a snack afterwards. So I just made these pumpkin chocolate chip bars. It's one of my baked oats recipes. First time making this one. I basically just copied my pumpkin chocolate chip cookie recipe, but I put it in one dish and meal prepped it for the week. Here's a first look at the taste test. Very good. Tastes just like the cookies I made previously on my channel, just in bar form. Basically protein bars. I think I'll actually post that one on my channel shortly, and I'm gonna enjoy this. All right, so I want to take you through my own personal New Year's resolution, at least one of them. And weight loss and getting in better shape isn't one of my primary goals for the near future. Just because I have my diet and exercise routine pretty locked in and I enjoy what I do, and my current shape I'm satisfied with it. One thing in my life I'm not satisfied with is we'll say social support. And as a travel physical therapist, I go somewhere new every few months and work, and I don't know anyone in that location, so it can get pretty lonely. So my number one New Year's resolution is to make more connections with people, and this can be friendships, it can be improved family relationships, it could be dating or romantic connections, but all of the above I'll take. Now let's talk about a personal identity shift for me. I'm going to have to be more outgoing and more talkative to reach this goal. Naturally, I'm a little more introverted and I don't initiate conversations with people, but I'm gonna have to change that. So that's going to be, I guess, a form of internal motivation for me. I have to shift my values so I can reach this goal in the long run. And as I do it more, I hope to get better at it. And as I get better at it, I hope to enjoy it more, just because I believe as humans we tend to enjoy doing things that we are good at. So it's like this positive feedback loop. Now, what does being more outgoing, building connections with people, what does that look like? How is that going to occur? Well, I know one thing is going to have to happen. I'm going to have to leave my apartment and go out in public. My comfort zone on the weekends, especially when I'm alone, is to just stay in and not go out and talk to strangers. So I'm going to have to leave my apartment to meet people. Simple as that. And then I need to be more socially like people I desire to be like. So I have a few friends that have characteristics and traits that I want to model. But just in general, I think the older generation is a good example to look at. Traits I desire that will help me achieve this goal would be the type of person who says hi and smiles to a stranger. They aren't drowning out their surroundings with technology. They're not always on their phone. They're not always having their earbuds in. They're not trying to isolate themselves from everyone else. They're open to interactions with other people. So they're receptive to talking to strangers. They don't have earbuds in. They have their head up when they're walking down the street. They're making eye contact with people. They don't have an RBF, so people aren't intimidated to talk to them. They pet the dog that's walking down the street that comes up to them. When a song's playing in the bar, they dance. Like, those are the characteristics that I want to exemplify, and I think if I do that, I'll be more likely to achieve my goal of building connections and making friends with people in a new location. Now on to my dinner, and I'll be having salmon with rice and broccoli. I just seasoned this salmon with some soy sauce, about a serving of teriyaki sauce that I just put as like a glaze over the top, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. And I'm gonna bake it in the oven at 350 for probably 15 minutes, broil it for 2 minutes so it gets a nice crust on top, and hopefully it's fully cooked, and then I'll enjoy it afterwards Let's see how it turns out in the end. And here's what my dinner looks like. It's about 5 ounces of salmon, about a 1/4 cup dry of jasmine rice, and then 150 grams of broccoli that I just microwaved with a little bit of teriyaki sauce on that. I'll put the macros and the ingredients for this dinner here. I'm gonna go enjoy it. So I had about a pound of salmon and I divided it into 3 servings, so about 5 ounces each serving. And then I have these 2 leftovers. I had a baked potato already in my fridge, and then the other half of the rice. So I'll have those for dinners this week. My lunches will be frozen burritos that I prepped last week. And then the last thing I'm eating today is another yogurt and cottage cheese bowl. And I'll put the ingredients and macros on the screen if you're interested in copying me. But that's the last thing I'm gonna record today. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. And if you have any feedback, leave it down in the comments below.